everyone, and welcome to another review by Darth Devious. And today, from NECA, what they dubbed their Ultimate Jason Voorhees, the Jason Lives Friday the 13th Part 6 Jason. And yeah, it's basically just a slightly smaller version of their retro version, but without cloth. They actually have the sculpted in clothes. And I've been waiting for this for a while. Really have. Comes with his tombstone, a couple other accessories. Really nice box. Velcro. Lovely picture of the figure here. This is where he sits. He's got one hand still in there. That hand is for holding the machete, but he's not holding the machete for me. He's holding that spear or whatever from the grave. All right. Get that out of here. Don't need that. And we'll bring in Mr. Voorhees. As you can see here. Looking really, really cool. And you can see here's his gravestone. His name on it, all worn up. Tiny bit of green moss on it. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Nice wash on it. Love this crack in the back. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. But there's, it's just a piece of plastic. Something loose rattling around in it. It doesn't open up or anything. It's his grave. There you go. And you see here I got him holding the spear, which has the nice melted burned part from where the lightning struck and brought him back to life. Love the wash on the gloves. Nice and dirty. And you got the blood and paint and everything else that's all over him. And he's got some bullet holes and stuff in his shirt. Blood on his pants. Torn up pants at the bottom. Nice paint on the boots. All this detail here on his belt, his utility belt. And his machete can store inside there if I lift up both his arms. Maybe we can see, because I don't want to take that out of his hand. It was hard to get that into his hand, but you can see there's his machete in there. I'm not going to pull that out of the way. He's got a knife here that comes out. There's two little straps that hold it in place. You can see there's his knife. Both nicely painted, but with Part 6 Jason, I want this thing in his hand, because this is an iconic part of how he looked in that film. And yes, the mask comes off just like the other version. We'll show that in a minute. Now, putting this in his hand, it comes into two pieces. You want to be careful and take your time. You want to push the one end in slowly till you get it about halfway through, and then the other end push in slowly so you can get him to meet in the middle, and then he can hold them. Take your time. Now, he does have standard articulation for figures of this size. Shoulders do move, as you saw when I was moving him, so you can see that he's got less than 90 at the elbow, but it does rotate, and then he's got ball joints at his wrists. He's got the ab crunch, so you can get that. Legs can go forward and back. They can rotate, but this one is kind of stuck, so I'm not going to force it. Knees bend, they rotate, and the foot moves around. Yeah, this leg doesn't want to. Yeah, I'm not going to force them. If they don't want to go, don't ever force any of the joints on a NECA figure, because they will shatter. Yeah, but you can see he looks pretty cool here. We'll take off his mask. His mask is pretty cool. It's got the crack in it from the axe. Has the one chevron on it, which is accurate to Part 6, and it has a dirty, faded look to it. And the eyes are filled in, because in Part 6, as I said with the retro cloth figure, they wanted you to not see Jason's eyes. They wanted it to just be black and hot and just dead looking. So they put like black mesh over the eye holes, except for extreme close-ups. You see, they filled in the back of them in there. come up and get a closer look at that lovely face sculpt. Just look at that. Yeah. Bone hanging out. He's got the wound here that ultimately put him in the grave. The axe wound here. Missing his eye here. His nose is rotted off. His upper lip is rotted off. His lower lip is starting to rot off. His teeth are still white. You can see he's got maggot tracks and worm tracks all over his head. Yeah, I'd be pissed too if I was woken up in this condition. But this is where we started to get zombie Jason. Just this look. Love this figure. Been waiting so long. We'll bring in his retro cloth counterpart, and you can see they did a good job with the clothes, but the clothes give it a less real appearance, you could say. Whereas the sculpting on this is very accurate and very awesome looking. But the faces are pretty much the same. There's not much sculpting difference between the two. He's got more dirty teeth, and his skull looks more like it's starting to really rot than this one, but still, they look cool. No real difference in the masks. The crack is more visible on sorry. Ooh. Crack is more visible on this one. This one's just a smaller version of this, pretty much. Same thing with the figures. So in design-wise, they are just smaller versions of each other. There you go. Get him out of here. So yeah, I'm glad NECA finally got to this movie. My favorite version of Jason ever, and I've been waiting for a figure like this for such a long time. So I'm happy that I finally got one. I highly recommend it if you're a fan. Toys R Us should be carrying them, and they have them online at places like Big Bad Toy Store, so you can find them there. Just check them out. It's pretty cool. Like it. I'm hoping that they bring us part 7 and part 8 at least. I know the sculpting will be a lot more work, but it would be cool to see them. Maybe do like how they have this shiny wet look on his head here. Just do the whole body like that for part 8, as he was always constantly looking wet. And just, yeah. Come on, NECA. You can do it. So that's it. You guys, be good. I'm out of here.